guys, welcome back and welcome to episode 7 of Pistol Pete's training. So today the question we're going to jump in and answer has been sent over from Australia. The question is about how can you keep yourself from getting trapped inside your own head when it comes to sales. So near the end of the day, stuff like self-doubt and uncertainty creeping into your mind. So it's an interesting question. Once again, mentality plays 90% of what we do, so really important to make sure that you've got something you can fall back on. So what we're going to jump in today is talk a lot about how to make a habit, obviously habits of the successful, in particular the All Blacks, and just a way that you can make a pledge to yourself which actually saves energy and gives you an easy pattern just to follow to eliminate any of these self-doubts and uncertainty. So guys, when we're talking about self-doubt, we can really answer this in terms of sales, in particular when you get into the end of sales day. Maybe you're not on the score that you want to be on the amount of sales, so self-doubt starts and uncertainty starts creeping in. But self-doubt is something that attacks us in all walks of life when it comes to decision making. Obviously self-doubt always comes in, even when we look at something as simple as what to eat for food. There's always that food envy, as people say. You order one meal, your mate orders the other, and then you regret, obviously, the self-doubt. You're like, oh god, maybe I should have done this one or that one. It just all creeps in, guys. It's due to an uncertainty factor. So when there's self-doubt, it's due to uncertainty, and uncertainty comes from the not knowing. So what you want to do is create a habit. When it comes to sales, what you want to do is be seeking out advice from the person that's made the most amount of sales, but not just in a short period of time. This is consistently over a long period of time. And if you go and work with them and find out what they're doing, normally it's nothing that blows you away. It's actually normally something that's very simple, but the thing is there's a structure, there's a system to it, and they'll do that over and over again no matter what the environment, what's going on in their personal. They'll just literally always be reverting back to the norm. So when you actually do this, guys, it creates a habit, and what you can do is you can always fall back on it because it works. So there's actually a book called The Art of a Good Life by Rolf Develli. There's a chapter 3, I think it is, talks about the pledge. Now I recommend to Google search that. It's only about 2-3 pages long, but it talks a lot about making a pledge to yourself. And through making decisions and having flexibility in your life, he says it actually leads to a negative life, because what it leads to is a lot of uncertainty, using energy in decision making, and often obviously making wrong choices. But if you make a pledge to yourself, what it does is it eliminates any of this doubt or self-doubt, because you stick to it 100%. And what you need to do is find out the person that's making the right amount of sales, obviously in a consistent period, and then copy their system, make it a habit, and make a pledge to it 100%. You are following this, no matter what environment or what kind of uncontrollables get thrown at you, because it means if you stick to that, it will see the course and you'll get the best results at the end. And in normal life, you can apply that easily to making easy decisions in your life when it comes to meals during the week, or decisions on when to drink during the week, or what to do, what fitness, exercise, stuff like that. Make a plan, but then make it a pledge, because it's easier to commit to a pledge 100% than 99%. So eliminate that, and actually what you do is you actually eliminate self-doubt. So this works, guys, not just on a small scale, but when we look at all the professionals and the high performers across the world, so you can look into business and entrepreneurs and entertainment, there'll always be people that follow a formula that already works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. So we can look at this even more in sport. If we take the All Blacks as an example, one of the, if not the best rugby team, they consistently always perform at a high level. And the reason they win so many of their games, 90 to 95% of their games, even though when they're not always winning them at the beginning of the game, there's plenty of times when it gets to the 70th minute and the All Blacks are losing, yet they come back and win. And the reason for this is because they have a pledge, they have a habit, they follow a set system over and over again. So when they're getting into their final period of the day, just like a sales agent, and they're not on the performance or the score they want, they don't panic, they don't go into this flexibility and they start changing up what they do to try and get a better result. What they do is they know that something works and they stick to it. So what that does is it eliminates any of their players' self-doubt, and what it allows them to do is perform at that high level, because they're not second guessing themselves. They stick to that pledge, just like it said in the Rolf Develli book, and they stick to it, and that's why they always come out on top. So where other teams are getting tired and getting exhausted and they start wavering off what they should be doing, the All Blacks stick at it over and over because it's as easy as breathing to them. It's that habit. So what you want to do is make sure you're cultivating these habits, guys. Stick to them. It actually takes, I think it's 27, 28 days to cultivate a habit, and that's a simple habit. It's not as simple as drinking water in the morning or doing certain types of exercising every single day. So something as high as sales and a skill like that, obviously it's going to probably take more than 28 days, but that's at least your early bracket that you can be looking at. What we see is a lot of high performers in sales and people that have been around for a while. What they'll do is, if their performance drops off, they'll go work with a high performer, see what they're doing, they'll start copying that, creating and cultivating a good habit, and 2 to 3 days in, because their scores have gone up, what they do is they stop thinking about it, and what happens, they revert back to the norm. They go back to their habit, which wasn't working. So you need to consciously focus on this over and over again. There's 4 stages of learning. There's the unconsciously incompetent, the consciously incompetent, the consciously competent, and the unconsciously competent. Now, we want to get to the unconsciously competent stage, so what you need to do is get as quick as possible into that consciously competent. Seek out the right advice from the high performers that are consistently doing it. Copy their systems and just apply that over and over and over again consciously over a long period of time, 28 days, say, for example. And as a sales agent, if you do that, that will then ingrain that as a habit, and then that will move you to the unconsciously competent. It'll be like breathing, it's as easy as that. If we look at life, what you need to do is the exact same thing. Find out how to do the right fitness techniques, or what's the best foods to eat at a certain time, or seek out whatever advice that you do from someone that's doing it already. Find that out, copy that system, and then apply it over a long period of time to cultivate a habit. If you do that, it makes it a lot easier. Life becomes happy. When you make that pledge, it's easier to do it 100% of the time than 99% of the time. Cool, guys, and that's the end of episode 7 of Pistol Pete's training. So how you can eliminate self-doubt and stopping getting stuck inside your own head with those decisions in sales and in life is by finding something that works, making a pledge, sticking to that system. Once you make it a habit, it's going to work time and time and time again. It allows you to fall back. And the great beauty of that is in life, there's always uncontrollables that are happening to you. You're never going to be at this perfect state, or very rarely are you going to be in this perfect state where everything in life is going great. Relationships, health, fitness, money, wealth, and business all going perfectly. So then that's when you can perform amazingly. It's not going to happen. There's always going to be stuff that happens to you. But if you have this habit that you can always revert back to, like we say, it is as simple as breathing. You can revert back to it, and it means you're going to still get success even in these challenging times. And then when you're in the non-challenging times, even better. You can maximize on that as well. So cultivate those habits, guys. Find out the high performers in your sales office and in any other walks of life, whatever you want to achieve. Find the people that are already doing it. Ask for a system. What do they do? A routine, a plan, obviously a system. Just basically copy that thing, and over time it will create a habit. But you have to make a pledge to it 100% or nothing. Obviously, stick to it 100%, it will come out. So that's the end of episode 7. Really easy information to follow, guys. Really simple. I understand. I always say a lot of this stuff is simple, and it is simple. I'm not saying it's easy. There is a difference between easy and simple. Obviously, sometimes a lot of this stuff is hard to apply. I know that because I've gone through it as well. But it is simple. So don't try and overcomplicate it, guys. Keep it as simple as possible. But then make sure you make that pledge to commit to this stuff over and over again. And that goes for all the other episodes that we've been talking about, guys. A lot of the information we give off, make sure that you're actually taking time to digest it. Don't just watch it and let it breeze in through one, out through the other. Understand that information first. Go over it a couple of times if you need to, because once you understand it, it becomes so much simpler. And once you can understand it and you understand how simple it is, you can actually start applying it. There's no point having all this information that I'm giving out, and this isn't just for myself. This is cultivated over loads of different people that do it even better than me. But what it is once you simplify it and you actually apply it, you'll see changes in your day-to-day as well as your business or sport, fitness, health, whatever you're doing it for. So please understand this information and then apply it. Cool, so that's the end of episode 7. If you can please click subscribe below. If you know other people that will be really interested in this type of video, forward it on to them, guys. I don't know everyone in the world. Forward it on, get this information flying around. Let's cultivate a really cool group together. I want to hopefully in the future be doing calls with other successful people, finding information from them. There's other people in my industry that I'll definitely be getting involved for joint videos, because it's great if we can get a network of people that just understand how important it is to be successful and really are driven in that same way. way, then we're going to get more success, more people. Obviously it gets better information. So subscribe guys, flip this around to people, jump on Instagram, get other people to follow Instagram. You can give me a shout out, that'll be great, at Pistol Pete Training. Any questions as well, so when you're looking through these videos, not just this one but the others, if you want to have more in-depth into it, whether you want me to do a video or just talk to you one-on-one, I do send out a couple of videos to some guys over in Australia over the last few days. Just send me an email and I'm happy to put some time aside to help you guys. That's really what I want. Spread the positivity, guys, and you start achieving some stuff together. Yes, eliminate negativity, go for positivity. Cool, so I'll see you next time guys, and hopefully you got something out of that.